Hey, welcome back everybody. Today's show is all about potatoes, and oh boy, do we have some more delicious potato recipes coming your way in just a minute. But we've got a special treat for you. We just talked about this. Did you know Wisconsin is the third largest growers of potatoes in the country? Seriously. And we recently got a chance to check out how those potatoes are harvested and packaged in Plover. Pretty cool to see. Take a look.
It's a family farm. There's my father and his two brothers started the business back in 1960s. And since then, there's been now 6 of us owners, and not all family. We actually have a non-family member that's partnered with us on taking over today. And then we have that's our generation 2, and then we have a generation 3 that's coming up. They're all starting to finish college from now and starting to move into the business. So we're pretty excited about taking to the next level.
We're lifting the potatoes and putting them into trucks for transportation over to things. So you saw 2 windrowers in front of the harvester, and then the harvester itself was picking up all 12 rows and putting those into the truck. It's usually about a 5-week process that you go through. We get started right after Labor Day, and we'd like to finish somewhere around 5th or 10th of October, depending on Mother Nature and what the weather's forecasted. We've had very mild summer, so the production of the potato crop's been very, very nice. We had very mild, cool nights, warm days, not too warm, which potatoes don't like it that warm. And we had a fair amount of moisture, so it worked out very well. We have a beautiful crop this year. It's a huge agricultural product in our state right now. We're the 3rd largest producing state in the country. So we're producing somewhere around 63,000 acres of potatoes are produced in the state of Wisconsin. When they're harvested from the field, as you saw earlier, we put them into storage. So we bring the trucks in here and we separate out the debris, the dirt, the vines, and also eliminate the real small potatoes, which we sell to the canners that produce your whole peel potatoes in a can. And then we bring those into storage, and we put them anywhere from 14 to 16 feet tall, and we put them in temperature controlled and humidity controlled buildings. And we put them to rest. We want to get the respiration down, and we'll store them there from now all the way until as late as potentially August 1st of the following year. The harvest for potatoes it takes a lot of manpower. You'll double your workforce or even triple your workforce to get it and put in, because you're taking all of your acreage that you grew all year long and you're trying to move it off the ground within 4 or 5 week period of time. And each acre of ground is 1 truckload of potatoes. So it's a tremendous amount of tonnage coming off of that land. Potatoes is one of the largest, heaviest producing per acre crop there is available. So from a food production standpoint, it does a great job. We produce about 27 billion pounds of potatoes a year. And that goes into frozen for French fries, it goes into fresh market potatoes, it goes into chipping potatoes. So it's all different varieties for all different purposes, but total production is about 27 billion pounds.
Potatoes are important in Wisconsin, as are all the vegetable crops. From the standpoint of the economic value, last year's crop was worth nearly $300 million at the farm gate level, and typical agricultural multipliers would easily push that number up well over $1 billion of positive economic impact on the state of Wisconsin. There's a multitude of potato types within the state. We of course have potatoes that are very good for table stock, and there's a wide variety and array from fingerlings, yellow flesh, to red skin, to russet type potatoes, and many different kinds within each of those categories. But we also are very good at growing French fry potatoes. We have a good supply of chip potatoes within the state of Wisconsin. Frito-Lay is a good player for us, as well as some other more regional processors for chipping potatoes. We also have a good seed industry, typically in the northern part of Wisconsin, which constitutes about 8% of our crop. The majority of the commercial potatoes are grown generally from Stevens Point down to the Portage area. We also have some in the Endeavor area, Nakusa. There are also potatoes grown there. The seed area is really up in Langley County, up around the area from Anago up to Eagle River and Rhinelander up in that area. A big thing that everybody is concerned with today are food miles. So buying local has a very positive impact in regard to reducing the carbon footprint of all your food products. And if you can think about buying local potatoes or buying other local vegetables, they've traveled many less miles. And I think you can take that thinking to milk and cheese, and that's very common for us to consider milk and cheese as a local product. But potatoes are one that we can easily provide for every consumer in the state of Wisconsin. We grow enough potatoes to feed us all until the next crop is in the bin. So it only makes sense to think about our carbon footprint, what impact we're having environmentally, and shrinking the carbon footprint, shrinking the food miles, and purchasing products locally. We'd love to feed all the Wisconsin consumers only Wisconsin potatoes.
How cool is that? So there you go. Buy Wisconsin potatoes and support all our Wisconsin potato growers. And speaking of potatoes,